Like, seriously, my hair today, I feel like I'm sitting up here. I turned the air off and I feel like the humidity is just making my hair go poof. Well, hello everyone. Long time no see. I just wanted to start this video with a little apology and saying I'm sorry I missed last week's video. I hated doing that, but I just needed a tiny little break. And unfortunately, the video I missed was my Birchbox and Ipsy for May, right? That was last month. I hated missing that video because, I mean, I haven't missed one of those videos for a long time. Like, I'm sitting trying to think how long I've been doing those videos, and it's literally been years. But yeah, when I got my Birchbox and Ipsy, I mean, this is kind of another reason. I got out all of the products because I opened it to like try them for you guys, and nothing excited me. Like, nothing. So that kind of played into it because I wasn't like super excited to try them all out, and then I actually went out of town to Gatlinburg and I just didn't feel like taking all of those samples. So a big sorry. If you guys want to see what I did get in Birchbox and Ipsy, let me know and I'll post a photo on Instagram or something. But today is a very exciting video because I recently went to Ulta. I'm gonna make this intro as quick as possible because I have a lot of things to tell you about, but recently a brand new Ulta opened up near me. Before this one, I would say the closest one was about 30 to 40 minutes away, and now it's only 15. So I was like counting down the days until this place opened, and it honestly like blew away my expectations. I don't shop at Ulta a lot just because the ones that were closest to me were pretty far, and I was just so excited when I walked in and saw all of these brands that I've never seen in stores before. Makeup Revolution, Lipstick Queen, all of the Shea Moisture makeup. I was in heaven. So today I'm going to be sharing with you everything I got, but I've also used like practically everything over the last 2 days, as well as everything, well, not everything, but most of the stuff on my face right now. So I have that stuff kind of grouped together, the stuff I used today, because I actually filmed it for you guys, and I'm going to have little demos along with the little first impressions. So let's go ahead and get into that stuff, and then I do have a few other things that I used yesterday that I'll include in the end. Getting into the foundation I'm wearing today, I was so excited when I came across this Fiona Stiles line because I know it's fairly new and I've heard a lot about it on YouTube. When I was looking at this line, there are two formulations of this foundation. There's a luminous one and a matte one, and I couldn't for the life of me remember the one that I like heard a lot about from people on YouTube. So I was actually standing there for quite a while, and a worker came up to me and she was so helpful and made such a great point. So I wanted to share it with you because it was just super helpful and it made a lot of sense. So what she actually said was, if you can't decide between the two, I would personally go with the matte one. You can always make it more dewy by adding an argan oil and like mixing it up and then applying it to your face, or just using highlighters and stuff. So to me, that just was like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense, and it really helped me make my decision. So I did end up getting the matte one in the shade 03. I applied this for the first time today, and let's just say this packaging is incredible. I mean, talk about super high-end feeling. This was, I think, between, I want to say it was either $32 or $38, so I guess 40 is kind of like the ballpark range for this. But oh my gosh, guys, this bottle is super heavy, really nice frosted glass. It comes with a pump, and overall on my skin today, I absolutely love it. I just applied this with one of my flat top Dandelion brushes. I've been trying out some of these. They're not my favorite, but a lot of my other foundation brushes were dirty. But I thought the overall look on my skin, let me take a look at it again, because I just feel like the coverage for one was amazing. This color for me is pretty darn good, and I just like the overall finish a lot because it is not super matte and it doesn't feel super drying. And just for the record, a lot of people ask about undertones of foundation, so for me personally, I think 03 is a little bit on the warm side. The next thing from this haul that I used on my face was this Essence Make Me Brow Eyebrow Gel Mascara. Now my friend Emily actually met me up at this Ulta and we had a blast. She loves makeup pretty much as I do, so it was just so much fun like scouring the aisles with her. And I was actually talking about my Rimmel brow gel that I have, that I featured in like, I think a What's New at the drugstore or something, and I've been using that every single day. But that brush is huge, and I just feel like I have to be super careful when I'm applying it to my brows. So I was just telling her that, and she's like, oh my gosh, I got the product for you. I believe she said Casey Holmes really raves about this, and like I said, it's from Essence, so it's like, I think it was like $3 or something. And this brush is teeny tiny. The other thing that I saw in this was that it has fibers too, and when I was standing in Ulta, I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I'm gonna like that. But I've been using it for the past 2 days days and I used it today obviously, and I feel like it did a really nice job. The brush is super easy to control. The little fibers don't do a whole lot. Like, I don't feel like I have to think about them when I'm applying it, but I do think they make my brow hairs just feel a little bit more thick. Another thing about the Essence one is that it's a little bit on the drier side too, which I prefer, because with the Rimmel one it's a little bit more wet, and I feel like sometimes I can get like a glob of product in my eyebrow and then I have to comb it through. So I just threw it across the room. So far, so good with that Essence one. As far as staying power goes, it doesn't make my brows like feel like they're stuck in place. So if you have a lot of trouble with like brow hairs going everywhere, I'm not quite sure if it's gonna be right for you, but for me, it seems to be a really good match so far. The next thing that I am so excited I finally picked up was a quad from Anastasia. Can we just take a moment of silence here, because I feel like I'm the last one on the planet to try this. This is one of those things that I just don't feel like I buy a lot of, because I have a lot of eyeshadow and I don't wear a lot of eyeshadow like during the week. I rarely ever reach for some of my eyeshadow palettes, but oh my goodness guys, when I went over to the Anastasia display, I swatched one of the colors and it was the best formulation of eyeshadow I have ever touched in my life. So what I actually did was I got this empty palette and then I got 4 pans, and all of this together is only $40. Now again, I think that does sound a little bit pricey, but for the quality of these shadows, the quality of this little compact and everything, I think it's not a bad deal at all. So just to quickly show you, the little individual pans come in these little packages, and then obviously you grab the palette. And so I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys know about the shades that I got. I might as well pull them out of here to tell you. But the first one that caught my eye was this one down here. It's a really nice light brown, and it's pretty much in like the neutral family. So this one is called Stone. But Stone, like I said, was like the first one that I saw that I'm like, I just have to have, because it reminds me a lot of Anaheim from the Urban Decay Gwen Stefani palette. I love shades like this because they are so easy. I feel like whenever I get palettes, I don't use a lot of the deeper shades, because whenever I use shades even like this, they just turn out a little bit darker on my skin tone. So with this, it's like a no-brainer crease shade for me. I can do it super lightly for just a tiny bit of definition, or build it up like I did today, and I just absolutely love the way it looks. The next shade that I had to have was this super sparkly, almost like taupey silver color, and this one is called Metal, I believe. And this one is definitely super shimmery and girly, and exactly what I like to wear on my lid. The pigment on this is incredible. I used all of these for the first time today, and I thought that it was really great because I didn't get a lot of fallout with this shade, because I don't know if I said earlier that it's glittery, but honestly when I look at this in a swatch, it's more metallic and it doesn't have a lot of chunks of glitter in it. Next up, I did want to get another super girly feminine shade that was a little bit metallic-y and shiny, but not too in your face, so I ended up with Gleam. This one is so beautiful, and I mean seriously, the texture on all of these, I mean, oh my gosh, it was so easy to create my eye look today. I actually placed this down on my lid first before going in with Metal, just toward my inner corner for a little bit of brightness. And for me, I don't know what it is about this shade, but it just seems so unique. It's almost like this really light, like not super vibrant, but rose gold shade. It definitely has a little bit of rosiness, a little bit of gold to it, and I just feel like, again, for this time of year, like I could put this all over my lid and just be good to go. And the last matte shade that I got, so I did get 2 mattes and 2 more shimmery shades, was a Warm Taupe. Now this is the last one that I was like kind of really trying to think about, like for this shade in particular, because I'm like, I want another crease shade, but one that's not gonna go too dark on me, but that could just bump up that stone color a little bit more. I went with Warm Taupe because it is a really good like 2 or 3 shades deeper than Stone, plus it's a little bit more on the warmer side. I don't wear a lot of warm colors, but I thought that this would be beautiful because all of the other 3, or at least Metal and Stone, are a lot more on the cooler side. So I was like, you know what, if I want a little bit more warmth, this would be a great shade to incorporate that with. And again, the quality, best eyeshadow formulation I've ever tried, hands down. I'm a huge Anastasia eyeshadow fan now for sure. They just all blended out seamlessly, like I didn't even feel like I had to work with them, and all of these together actually came out pretty well. I was super happy with my eye look today. I feel like I am taking so long. I've only gotten through 2 products, so I'm gonna try to speed it up a little bit more. For liner, I did go in with this new NYX matte liquid liner. I say new, it's new to me. I don't think it's super new to the NYX line, but at this Ulta they had like 2 or 3 aisles of NYX, so yeah, I went a little crazy. I ended up getting this because of Candy Johnson. She always always talks about this, and as I was in the store, I noticed it had a brush tip, and I got a little bit nervous, but I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna try it anyway. I'm a huge fan of felt tip liners. They are so easy, so when I was applying this today, I was really nervous, but I think I did a pretty darn good job. As far as this tip goes, it's not too bad because it can get super close to your lash line. The one thing that did have me worried though was the wing, because I can't remember the last time I did a good wing without like one of those felt tip liners, but holding the mirror and doing this was a little bit nerve-wracking, but thankfully I think it turned out okay. This formulation is incredibly opaque, super black. I mean, with one stroke you're good to go, and I feel like it did really dry down matte, so loving this so far, even though I'm gonna have to get used to the applicator again. Up next is something that completely stole my heart like the minute I put it on my eyelashes. Oh my gosh, guys, I feel like this is going to be my new favorite mascara if it wears alright throughout the day. So this is the Essence Lash Princess False Lash Effect Mascara, and I've had this in my list on my phone, like I said, like for a really long time because I never see Essence in stores. So for me, this was a no-brainer. It was like $5. I think it was $4.99, and as soon as I put this on my lashes, guys, what I have going on right now is one coat. It just coated them so well. It's a super nice black formula, but I do think that this brush is a little bit dense. The only problem that I had was that I felt like I couldn't get a really nice comb through my lashes because these bristles are so close together. But as far as formula goes, I have never, for the longest time, I had not tried a mascara where I could get away with just one coat, and that's exactly what I did today. I'm in love. Oh, I actually think I used this before the mascara, but another thing that I got from NYX is this Wonder Pencil. I've been wanting a really nice inner rim, color like this to brighten my eyes, because before I was using the NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk, and whenever I just had really minimal makeup on, when I put that in my waterline, it looked super unnatural and I didn't like it. So when Emily was with me, my friend at Ulta, I told her that I was kind of wanting something. I had grabbed one of the Maybelline Color Tattoo pencils that was kind of like this shade, but she's like, Lacey, that thing is huge. There's no way you're gonna be able to get that in your waterline. So she's like, again, I have the perfect thing for you. You know what? I said that when I was talking about that eyebrow gel, but I think Casey Holmes raves about this instead of that. I don't know. I'm super confused. But as far as this goes, it's more like a concealer pencil. I did put it in my inner rims today, and I did think it did a really good job, and it doesn't look as super unnatural as just stark white. I've had trouble with products like this, and I'm so glad that this one is light enough. This does come in 3 shades, and this was the lightest, but I like this a lot too because it's a multitasker. You can put this around your lips as a lip liner, you can use it to conceal blemishes, but another thing is I like the tone of it all in all because I've had a lot of trouble with fleshy tones like this being too dark on my super fair skin. For my cheeks, I started out with this Benefit Dandelion Dew, and I was so excited to pick this up after seeing Emily Eddington's video. I don't remember which one it was, but she actually applied this on camera, and before that I didn't really have any interest in trying it just because it didn't look like it was super pink, and I love super pink cheeks during this time of year, but as soon as Emily started putting it on, I was like, oh my gosh, I need that. Since I was getting that matte foundation, I'm like, you know what, it's gonna be really nice to have a product like this just to add a little bit of luminosity to my cheeks and just make my skin look a little bit more healthy. So I actually wore this yesterday as well as today, and I gotta say, I love it. Yesterday and today, I just used my little makeup palette right here, my little metal one that I got from Amazon, and this thing is so handy, guys, I can't even tell you. But the one thing I like about this, obviously the packaging, but also the pump, because the pump dispenses just the right amount of product, because with one little pump, I have enough to do both my cheeks. So when I applied it yesterday, I did apply it with my e.l.f. small stipple brush, and I thought that did a really great job. And then today, when I sat down, I didn't bring my little brush with me, it's downstairs, and I'm lazy, so I didn't want to go get it, so I went ahead and applied this with my fingers, and I am really impressed at how well it blended out. I just really dabbed this on, and then I used another clean finger to blend it in, and I do think that this shade is really pretty. I totally see myself loving this, using this almost every single day for this summer. The one thing I gotta say though is that I was expecting it to be a little bit more luminous and dewy on the cheeks, but I'm kind of torn because I kind of wanted that look, but I mean I can supplement with highlighters and things, but I also liked that this set down super well. It didn't stay super tacky on my skin, so it does feel like it's gonna last all day. I do have it topped with a little something else today that I'll talk about in a second just because I wanted to use it, but super fun, super cute, and I just feel like a lot of people are gonna like this if they like more natural pinky cheeks. The next thing that I decided to break out was a couple things from from Makeup Revolution, and this was another brand that I had never seen in stores. I think they had like some of the lip products and brushes at CVS, but never like the actual makeup. So Emily Eddington was like running through my head when I decided to try some of these. So the first recommendation from her that I had to try was the Ultra Contour Palette. And this, I don't know if it comes in different colors. Hold on, let me get the box. So no, I think this just is the Ultra Professional Contour Palette. I don't know, I felt like they had like a 1, 2, and 3 though. But anyway, as far as this goes, it's kind of messy because I obviously used it today. But I don't contour a lot. I do have a few bronzers, but I'm not one to like bronze a lot either. But I was like, you know what? With all of these different tones, I think I would reach for it a little bit more. I just find it hard to find like bronzers or contour shades for my skin because they all just seem too dark or too warm. And I actually went in with this middle shade today. I'm not quite sure if it has a name, but it is like the lightest bronzy color in this palette. And I did just apply it to my cheekbones a little bit with I think a Morphe brush, but that brush was so dense I was like a little bit worried, but it blended out fine, and I feel like the pigmentation was really nice too. But along with those contour shades, you also get 2 highlighters that I mixed and put on my cheekbones today. I also put it on my nose a little bit and even in the very inner corners of my eyes just to try it out. But you also get 3 powders in here, one that's a little bit more warm, one that's this really nice yellowy color for like brightening. I'm not too sure how much I will get like use out of that because I am so fair. And then this one over here on the end just looks like a really nice luminous setting powder too. And I mean, seriously, I think this was around $10. The packaging is amazing. I mean, seriously, it's like super heavy duty plastic. You get a really nice mirror in here. So all in all, I think I am gonna try to play around with this, try to contour a little bit more, but yeah, super happy with this so far. And then the other palette that I got from Makeup Revolution is the Sugar and Spice Ultra Blush Palette. This was another Emily Eddington recommendation, and this was so funny. I actually wanted to use it yesterday, and I went ahead and opened it, and down in my room, I think it was just the lighting because I looked at it, and the colors did like nothing for me. They all looked super deep and none of them looked super bright and summery, so I was just kind of put off. But I opened it today as I was getting ready just to take another look at it, and I mean, Lacey, these are like super bright and vibrant. In here, I would personally say you get 4 really bright shades, 2 more muted ones, and then also 2 really pinky highlighters over here. I actually was gonna go in with these first before I used the highlighters from the contour palette, but these to me look more like blush. They're super gorgeous though, especially this one down here. This one would totally be a blush on me. This one would be borderline. So like I said, I've only used this once this morning, but I did mix these 2 shades down here together and just applied it on my cheeks. As far as like the pigmentation goes, I thought they were beautiful. I'm not quite sure if it was because I was applying them over that Dandelion Dew, but I just thought overall they blended out super well. They made my skin look super smooth, which is how I feel like my favorite blushes ever do from Japanesque. So I mean, seriously, for $10 and all these colors, I really do think I'm gonna keep this and use it a lot. And last but not least, what I have on my lips, I did wear this yesterday too and I loved it, but it is from Lipstick Queen, and I think it's from their Saint line, but whatever I remember seeing in the display is that it's like the more sheer version of their lipsticks. So I got the shade in Saint Hot Rose. I don't know why, but I have been into sheer lip products lately. You guys know this with like my Juicy shaker review and things like that, but I've just loved super natural glossy lips this time of year, and so whenever I see like sheer formulations, I kind of like go right toward those now. The color on this just really caught my eye because it is that like super bright summery pink that I always go for, but as you can see in a swatch, it's not super in your face and super opaque. So for me, this is definitely a shade that I'll just throw in my purse to put on my lips. I do feel like it's a little bit thick, and I don't want to say drying because it's not really drying at all. I have just been wearing those Juicy shakers to death lately, so I feel like I've gotten really accustomed to all of that moisture, so like whatever I put on my lips now, as far as lipstick goes, it just feels a little bit drying to me. These aren't like the most glossy things in the world, but I did want to mention the new Revlon sheer lipsticks. I found those, or like came across them, I would say maybe a month or so ago, and I bought 2 of the shades and I've actually really enjoyed them. So with this, I'm like kind of on the fence because this is more like a high-end version of that, and I'm like, if I have the ones from Revlon, do I really need the more expensive version? So that's that's the thing that's going through my head right now, but super happy with this color because I think it's beautiful. Alright, so that is everything that I have on my face today. Now getting into the stuff that I don't, but I still tried like yesterday. So the one thing that I threw in my bag that was kind of more of a compulsive buy was this Urban Decay Naked Skin One and Done Hybrid Complexion Perfector. That is super hard to say. I did go with the lightest shade, which was light, and this was just funny because when I saw it in the store, I was just like, and immediately put it in my bag because I had heard one good thing about it. And I'm like, Lacey, what are you doing? But I was like, you know what? I just had a good feeling about it. Somebody said that it just like lasted all day through work or something and it still looked great. And then the other funny thing was that when I was going through, like my friend Emily had just gotten there, I was kind of finishing up when she did. So we were going through the bag together and I was showing her everything that I had in there. And one of the workers came up and she goes, oh my gosh, you have that Urban Decay One and Done. I love it. She said she wears it every single day. So by then I was like, okay, yes, I'm definitely getting this. I wore this yesterday and I must say, as soon as I applied it with a brush, I did like the consistency. It was super nice and thick, but as far as the coverage goes, I was expecting a little bit more. I have a lot of hyperpigmentation. With my skin, that is like the one thing that right now I'm struggling with the most. So when I got done, I was a little let down, but I gotta say, when I went ahead and added all of my other concealers, like under my eyes and just on a few places around my face, and then once I set everything, I was pretty darn happy with the coverage. So it was one of those products where I just kind of had to let it sit, I finished the rest of my makeup, and then I liked it even more. So that was good, and I feel like as far as like the wear time on this, it was okay. The one thing I did like was that it didn't get super luminous and dewy throughout the day, but I have to say I do have like this red spot on my chin right now. It's kind of like a hyperpigmentation spot, but by the end of the day yesterday, it was super noticeable. So I'm still kind of on the fence about this one. I will continue to wear it though and just kind of formulate my opinions a little bit more, but I just love stuff like this. I mean, I guess I could go ahead and show you the little bottle. It's super cute and it does have a really nice pump too, but I just love formulations like this for this time of year, something super lightweight. I just always kind of gravitate towards those. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to try this a little bit more before I decide whether it's going back or whether I'm keeping it. This next thing is probably the one thing so far I was kind of let down about, and I wasn't let down until I had to remove this. So this is the L'Oreal Double Extend Beauty Tubes Mascara. This was another Candy Johnson purchase, and I am telling you guys, I was like laughing at myself in Ulta because this is such an old product. I feel like L'Oreal has had this forever, and I have been wanting to try it for probably like 3 years. Back when Candy Johnson just started YouTube, I mean, this is probably actually longer than 3 years ago, but she always talked about this, and she's still talking about it because she mentioned this and even that NYX liner in that video she did with Snooki recently. So yeah, this has been something that has been on my list to try forever. I really like these double-ended tubes, especially because I'm a huge fan of the L'Oreal Voluminous Superstar Mascara. That one is like one of my favorite drugstore formulas, and so I was really excited to see how this primer compared to that one. I will say this one has a different brush, but as far as the formulation goes, this really acted the same on my lashes as far as this primer aspect. I love L'Oreal's lash primer because it goes on really well, it makes my lashes so long, and I do feel like it adds a lot of volume too. This style brush is more traditional. The one on the Voluminous Superstar is a little bit more hourglass, but I really didn't see a difference between like applications with the different brushes. And the mascara though on this side was definitely different than the Superstar one. This one again has just a really normal brush, which I really enjoy with natural bristles, but this formulation, it's super shiny, almost like lacquery, and I feel like it's a little bit more on the wetter, thinner side. So I just went ahead and applied this. I'm sorry I didn't take any photos for you guys. I did think that the length was really nice and the volume was okay. I didn't feel like this gave me a lot of volume, and I also didn't feel like it built really well because of the tube aspect. I have no idea how this does it, but whenever you're applying it, somehow it makes like a tube around your lashes, and I don't know, I just think that's kind of weird. So yeah, once I started building this up and went in with coat 2, I didn't think it was very good, and it really didn't build on itself super well. I think it's because the tubes of the first coat, like I felt like when I was trying to go through with the second one, it was a little bit hard to comb through my lashes, and I felt like I was taking some of those tubes off. There were some of like my lashes on the tips that were going wonky ways, and I just thought that that was probably like the tubes from the first coat, so I don't know. But all in all, once I was done with my mascara that day, I liked it. I didn't think it was too bad. So I was still giving it a shot. Throughout the day, I had absolutely no problems with wear, no flaking, no smudging, smudging, none of that stuff. But the only thing I didn't like was that this was such a pain to remove. I typically just remove my mascara with a simple towelette, and then I do wash my eye area with baby shampoo. If you guys want to see my skincare routine and how I take off my eye makeup, I'll go ahead and link it up there for you guys. But I was using this time around the simple eye makeup removing pads. I think my mom got those for me for Easter or something, and I was using those because I was having such a hard time with this. I thought those would maybe break it down a little bit more, but no, I went over my eyes, I was like pinching at my lashes, and I just felt like these tubes were not coming off super easily. It was like the makeup remover wasn't breaking them down. Granted, I haven't tried other things with this yet, but for me, I just like my little routine, and for this to not come off super easily with that routine, I don't know, it just makes me really not want to use it. So yeah, for me with this, I'm on the fence about it. I'm actually considering returning it just because I do have that Essence one I'm loving and other formulas that I've been loving too, but just because this was so hard to remove, but also in combination with the fact that I didn't think it did wonders for my lashes, I'm not totally sold. Another brand that I was so excited to see in this Ulta that I've never seen before, like in stores, was Honest Beauty, and this is Jessica Alba's makeup and skincare line. But have you seen all the lawsuits on her lately, or like at least this Honest brand? I'm kind of surprised, but I don't know, I've read some of the articles and I guess it has to do with like her claiming things are natural, but then they're not really. I don't know. I mean, natural stuff is nice, but it's not something that I'm like, oh my gosh, if she's like lying, I'm not gonna use it. I don't know. I still felt like I had to try something though. So I actually went to the display, and the one thing that interested me was that I picked up one of like the facial creams, or like the super moisturizing moisturizers that she has in her line, and I put a little bit on the back of my hand, rubbed it in, and it made my skin so soft and smooth. So I went ahead and threw that in my bag, and then I kept going, like, because what I was doing is I was going around all of Ulta, putting things in my bag, and I'm like, you know what, I can go through them later and see what I really need and like see what I need to put back, because I mean, I put back like 5 or 6 things, guys. You should be proud. But as far as this goes, I actually saw this little kit about 2 aisles later, and for $10 more, I was able to try more things than just that full size of the moisturizer. So in here, let me get the little sleeve because it lists everything, and that's in the bag. Hold on. So here it is. I'm gonna go ahead and read over everything and give you guys my little thoughts and opinions because I did use all of these last night. So the first thing that's in here is the Refreshingly Clean Gel Cleanser. I thought this was nice. It creates more of like a thinner lather. It's not one of those facial like cleansers that's gonna lather up a ton, so I think it'd be great with my Clarisonic. I just used it on my hands last night. I thought it cleansed my skin really well, and it also didn't make me too dry, which I loved. Next up is the Elevated Hydration Replenishing Mist, and I'm like so-so or like 50-50 on these because I don't really use one on an everyday basis as far as skincare goes, because I just feel like whenever I'm spraying something on my face, it feels like water and it's not even doing anything. This one does say though that you can use it under or over makeup. I have not tried it over makeup, but once I did cleanse my skin last night and apply this, I really enjoyed it because it is the finest mist that I've ever tried. Plus it smells really good. The next thing is the thing that I originally put in my bag. It is the Younger Face Deep Hydration Cream, and this stuff is no joke. I applied, I mean, a tiny pea-sized amount to my fingertips. I worked it around, and this is the most moisturizing cream that I think I have ever tried. I definitely think there's pros and cons to this though, because I do think it's a little too thick for me right now to wear under makeup, especially in the summer where my skin's more normal. But in the winter, I cannot wait until I get that super dry, flaky skin. I can't believe I'm saying that because I want to put this to the test because I just feel like it's really gonna help that. But when I applied it last night, I loved using this, especially while I was like sleeping, because I put this on my skin. It does tend to sit on top of the skin just a little bit. It does like feel a little bit greasy, but I really like that for especially like when I'm sleeping in it, because I woke up this morning and I still felt like this was on my skin. So that was it for the skincare in here, but they did provide a little sample of the Beyond Protected Sheer Tint Daily Beauty Fluid with SPF 30. I have not used that yet. I haven't even seen if the color is going to work for me. But the other thing that I was really surprised to see in here was the Beauty Balm. I think that is all that it's called. I'll quickly get this out. I don't think the packaging is all that great. It looks a little bit cheap to me, but this is just a balm that's supposed to be able to be used just wherever. On dry elbows, on your cuticles, even on your lips. So I just thought it was really nice they included that. I did put it on my lips the first night and I thought it moisturized them well, but it didn't do anything incredible. We are almost done. One little odd thing that I just had to pick up up. This is another one of those things where I saw it and I beelined and I just threw it right in my bag. How cute is this little compact? It's a little cat. It's from the brand Tony Moly, which I've never heard of, and once you slide that little sleeve off, it doesn't have the lines on here or the paws, but it is still super cute. It has these little eyes with like little eyelashes, little ears, and also nose and whiskers. It's so cute. So of course I beelined for this because it was cute, but then I realized how handy it would be because in here, I mean, first of all, it just seems like really good packaging. It is all plastic, but it just feels super sturdy. It has this really nice mirror in here, this really nice cushiony puff. Like usually when these come in things, I feel like they're super cheap, but this one is so soft, but it also has a really nice translucent powder too. I haven't really put this on my face yet, but it does feel really, really nice. It doesn't look like it's too chalky or anything. So yeah, I just thought this was super cute. I'm definitely gonna put it in my purse, but I love how everything is all in one. Plus, it's a cat. I can't pass it up. I just couldn't. We are finally on to the last two things though, and they are nail polishes. So the first one I randomly picked up was this one from Butter London in Minted. It's what I've had on my nails during this video, and I think it is so unique. It is beautiful. To me, it's almost like a mixture between a Tiffany blue and like a seafoam green. I just think I'm gonna like wear it on my nails all the time this summer. The formula on these, really, really nice, really opaque, but I can't stand the little brush. It is very similar to Essie's, and I don't know why I don't remember this. I do have like 2 other Butter London nail polishes, but that brush, I just can't get it to coat my nail really evenly because it's so small, and I do prefer the more flat, thicker brushes. And lastly, this one from OPI, I believe this was from the Alice in Wonderland collection, but I'm not all about the collection, I'm just about the colors, and this color really caught my eye. It's a really, really nice, almost bluey periwinkle, and I think for this time of year, it's gonna be awesome. I've been so into painting my nails lately, and this is like the color I always go for. This is the shade The Eyes Have It, and I just can't wait to put this on my nails. I haven't tried it yet, but I think it is gorgeous. So that is absolutely everything, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this super crazy long haul, and if you made it to the end of this video, please give it a huge thumbs up. I really, really appreciate it. Let me know if you guys want to see an update on this haul in like a month or so. I love that people are doing that now. I think that is so helpful. Make sure to click that little eye if you've missed some of my other recent uploads. They will all be listed there, but also my last 2 are typically down in the description box. I will be sure to list and link everything in this video for you guys, as well as all of the other products that are on my face that I didn't talk about today. But that's all. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!